And Louis, we've done wrong uns. I want to introduce you to, first of all, Chris Smith with the news, who is a Radio
Hi,
1.
mate.
Hello. He's an icon, Radio 1 icon.
Thanks very much.
And I want to introduce you to Shouldn't Be News, which is something that we've been doing for the last couple of weeks or so. It's those things that you really should know. Now, I don't expect you to have heard this. You're very busy. You're always jetting off all over the place. Wrong-uns is a very simple game. It's actually quite difficult to play. The idea is to give me as many wrong answers as possible in 60 seconds. But it has to be sort of related to the question. So you can't just say random words, if you know what I mean.
Right,
So if I say, what's my name, you couldn't say green.
But I could say Grimmy. Yeah,
You could say Grimmy.
yeah.
You could say Grimmy.
Okay.
So I've got a load of questions. The score to beat is currently 20, and that was set by the pop star Lorde. Now, she is incredible at this game.
That sounds like a lot. 20, what, in 60 seconds?
Yes.
And what, loosely related? We're talking
Loosely related.
All right.
Yeah. And I think you'll be really good at it. So just clear your mind. What we need is just nonsense answers.
Okay.
We need them to just be the first thing that comes into your head. I must remind you, no passes, no repetitions, and Louis, I know what you're like, potty mouth, no swearing.
Yeah, I'll try. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so. I'm ready.
60 seconds on the clock. I think we're ready to play Wrong-uns. What is your name?
David.
What band were you in?
The Wanted.
What does the BBC stand for?
Big... Billy, I'm thinking wrong.
Who comes down the chimney at Christmas?
Easter Bunny.
Name the members of One Direction.
Neil, Lame, Harry, and I've got all of them there.
What is my name?
Your name is Grimmy.
What rhymes with Louis?
What rhymes with Louis? John.
What's the capital of England?
Manchester.
What is Paddington Bear?
A dog.
What Makes You Beautiful is a song by which band?
The Beatles.
Who's the president of the USA?
Hillary Clinton.
How old are you?
I am 26.
What colour is an orange?
Red.
Who is the Queen?
The King.
Which royals got engaged last week?
None of them.
Who's the Prime Minister?
Tony Blair.
And Simon Cowell is a judge on what TV programme?
The Voice.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I felt all right. It's quick fire.
I feel like you did really well there. Grace should be furiously writing them down over there. It's very, very quick, wasn't it?
I dawdled on the One Direction question, funnily enough.
Yeah, I mean, there were some great names. You said Neil and Lane.
I was trying to make them like work, you know what I mean, relate, but it was tough.
And Harry.
Harry, yeah.
Well, what were some of your favourite answers there, Grace?
Which band are you from? The Wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really pained me to say that. Yeah.
Capital of England, Manchester. What Makes You Beautiful is by the Beatles, apparently.
They'd be proud of that one.
And, and judge on the... Simon Cowell being a judge on The Voice.
Okay. Which means that Louis Tomlinson scored, in 60 seconds, on Wrong-uns, a total of...
70.
Oh, okay.
That's not embarrassing.
No, it's decent.
That's not embarrassing at all. We've had far worse. Okay, pretty good.
It's harder than it sounds, actually.
I know, right?
Yeah, when you get in the hot seat.
Because you start sweating, you start thinking, don't say a swear word.
That was on my brain a lot, yeah.
Okay. 16 in 60 seconds, which does mean technically you are a wrong-un, which is good.
Nice.
And we're going to play a song, and we'll be straight back with Louis Tomlinson. Tomlinson is my special guest this afternoon. And Louis, we've done wrong-uns. I want to introduce you to, first of all, Chris Smith with the news, who is a Radio 1.
Mate.
Hello.
He's an icon, Radio 1 icon.
Thanks very much.
And I want to introduce you to Shouldn't Be News, which is something that we've been doing for the last couple of weeks or so. It's those things that you really should know, but you don't know. And people confess to shouldn't be news. In the past, Chris, we've had things like someone saying that they thought that cats were female dogs.
That's right.
Up until they're about 20.
I think my favourite was the person that thought that the moon was the back of the sun, so it just like flipped over at night time.
Yeah, it's insane. You want to spend a day with that guy and see what he's really like, you know what I mean?
We just have had hundreds of these in, because I feel like it's people who just want to go, do you know what? I have been stupid in the past, and I want to confess, and I want to move on with my life. So let's do Shouldn't Be News! with Louis Tomlinson.
Hitting that falsetto there.
That was lovely,
Showing off.
actually.
Did you like it?
Beautiful, yeah.
Thank you. Francis from Stoke says, I thought coconuts were small animals until I was 15. My dad used to take me to the shop so I could stroke the coconuts. He had to pick me up because they were on the top shelf. I had to be very quiet in case I woke them up because I thought they were sleeping. He stopped picking me up when I turned 13 and I could reach them myself. Breaking news.
Breaking news. Coconuts aren't pets.
Shouldn't be news. Ali from London next, who says, until last week I thought that an AM radio only worked in the morning.
Oh, that's good.
This just in, you can listen to AM radio, if you've got a really old radio, any time of the day you like.
Shouldn't be news. Georgia in Middlesbrough writes, it took me 16 years to realise scarecrows are called scarecrows because they actually scare crows away.
Breaking news. Scarecrows do exactly what they say on the tin.
Elizabeth says, up until recently, I thought Anon was a Welsh name.
This just in, Anon is short for anonymous.
Shouldn't be news. Breaking news, I have just discovered, says Beth in Hampshire, in my 30s, that the FTSE 100 is nothing to do with football. Who knew?
Headlines today, playing footsie is nothing to do with football.
Shouldn't be news. Up until 1 month ago, this is from an anonymous person, or anon.
Nice.
Up until 1 month ago, I genuinely didn't get a receipt from a cash point ever in my life because when it said, do you want an advice note, I assumed an advice note gave actual life advice like, save the pennies and the pounds will save themselves. I'm 23. This is a huge revelation.
Breaking news, it's a cash machine, it's not your mum.
News. And finally, from Rob in Preston, my sister Alicia used to think that injury time was when all the injured players came back on. She thought it was really unfair if one team didn't have any injured players.
And in sports headlines, injury time is to make up for time lost during injuries, not just for people to limp about.
And that was Shouldn't Be News. Oh my God. We're doomed, aren't we, Louis?
Oh, God, that
We
was
are
funny.
doomed.
That is funny.
Thank you for doing Shouldn't Be News today.
Oh, it was fun. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris Smith, with the news.
Always a pleasure.
And Louis, thanks for being on the show today.
No worries. Thanks for having me. Nice to see you again.
And I suppose we can say, have a Merry Christmas? Is this
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. I knew
Merry
that.
Christmas to you.
Thank you. I knew.
We'll see you soon. Thanks.
Cheers, lad.